Hello, mate. We're having many problems.
Why? Every so often, you have to challenge yourself. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about mental health and having as much fun on bikes as possible. But there's always going to be that little inkling in a cyclist or any athlete that wants to push that little bit harder. Movember started in Australia in 2023. It raises awareness on mental health, testicular cancer and prostate cancer. The money raised goes into groundbreaking medical research, mental health initiatives and community outreach and education. As mentioned, Chris Hall is taking on the monumental challenge of riding the full perimeter of Britain, and he invites absolutely anybody with a bike to join him. My plan originally was to leave here this evening around about 5 p.m, making my way up the Northumberland coast to meet Chris at tonight's stop. I'd booked a hotel, the exact one that he was in. We was going to have a catch up, some food, and then tomorrow we were going to continue his journey, and I was going to ride with him and keep him company. Bike set up, it's absolutely raining cats and dogs, and from what I hear, I haven't heard anything from Chris in the last hour. He's had a few issues with some tyres and he's had to stop in Newcastle to get a few repairs done.
I'm going to stop in Newcastle tonight. Get sorted. It's probably going to take an hour.
Cancelling my hotel tonight, I've actually got a much bigger ride now tomorrow. As the situation stands now, I'm going to have to wake up in the morning, find Chris somewhere in Newcastle, and then head towards Edinburgh because my train's booked for tomorrow for 7 p.m. Good morning. This is the situation. I'm around about 2 hours into this. I was meant to stay in a hotel last night with Chris. He had a few mechanicals and he stopped in Newcastle. This morning, my plan was to get up early, which I've done. I left at 7 o'clock and I was going to try and get in front of him. I've kept an eye on his tracker all morning and it's been in Newcastle. I've just checked about 15 minutes ago and he's in Warkworth, where we were meant to stay last night. Now I'm aware that he stayed in Newcastle last night, so the only thing I can think of is he's got up early and he's made his way to Warkworth. It's 40 miles from my house to Warkworth, so probably about the same from where he was staying. I'm around about 24 miles from Warkworth now, so today has turned into a bit of a cat and mouse. I'm not going to ring him, I'm not going to message him, I'm just going to chase him down. I've got a train at 7 p.m. this evening from Edinburgh, which is 160 miles away, just over 250 kilometres I think. I don't know how good my maths was there. So that's it, the chase is on. Okay, before I continue, let's just break this down. How far I'm away from Chris, or how far Chris is away from me? Let's just break this down. I was following the purple line, hoping that I would just eventually catch up with Chris. But he's now so far ahead that I thought it best to cut across country, saving some time, taking on a few more hills, but maybe meet him, well, at least 50 miles before we got to Edinburgh. Well, that was the plan anyway.
Bike?
Yep. Edinburgh. See you later, thank you. Okay, a quick update. I've got hold of Mr. Chris Hall. He's around about 30, I reckon about 30 miles ahead of me. It's going to be a big ask to catch him up. But what I've done is I've changed the route, so I'm no longer not going all the way up the coast and following it parallel, the route that he has to do. I'm actually going to cut across and try and cut him off at the top of the country. I don't know if it's going to work, but We shall see.
I don't know what I expected really. Maybe I'd feel a bit stronger by now, like a second wind would have hit me. But it hasn't, and the legs are empty and they feel a little bit like lead.
Absolutely dying for a banana. Can I find any? I need some real food. I've done 2 gels. That's it. Oh, bananas. Oh, they don't look the best, but it is what it is. Oh, they look awful. Get a Greg's. My elapsed time is already 55 minutes. Now, I don't know how I do it, but sometimes on these rides my elapsed time is an absolute joke. 2-3 hours. Whether it be stopping to the toilet, stopping to check my phone. Sometimes I stop to check my phone and before you know it 10 minutes has gone, which is quite a long time. A pot of pasta and an innocent berry drink, £7. Used to be cheap to do these little adventures. Chris is still around about 20 miles in front of me, but because he has to go around the coast, I'm cutting across the country. Hopefully I'll be able to knock him off at the top.
Halfway in, it already feels like I'm too far to go back and even further to go forward. I can't help but think that Chris is out there somewhere ahead of me, probably grinding through the same aches and strains, or maybe worse, doing something bigger than himself. Movember, men's health, all the purpose packed into each pedal stroke. Meanwhile, I'm just here chasing.
"70 miles. I'm still 15 miles away from Chris. It's gonna be a bit touch and go. I need someone to hold on to. Can I put my faith in you? Oh, no. Some of you might be wondering why I'm doing this on a gravel bike. I'm about to show you. This is a real road. Like, this is an actual road for cars. And as I've said many a time, comfort is king. I'm not particularly comfortable at the minute, grinding 170 watts against this headwind. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but that dot there, that little blue one is me. That's where I should be on the white dot. For some reason, I've been going the wrong way for the last 10 minutes. Up this monstrosity of a hill. So I'm now making my way back, at least with a tailwind. I lost GPS. I don't know how, but I lost my GPS. It went blank. So I asked this couple, and he got very excited and got his map out. Sort of, I've got all this gear, and I still need this man with a map. And he said it was this way, but I'm well out of the way. I'm gonna have to go back.
Right now it all seems a little bit like everything's against me, including the wind. I really do hate this part of cycling where the body starts to argue with my will and my head starts to go.
Can I get a jack potato, please?
There's no shame in stopping, or is there? There's no crime in knowing your limit either. I'm not weak, I'm just tired and a little bit spent. The ride might be his mission, but maybe mine was just trying to keep up with him or catch him. At this point I didn't know, but what I did know is I'd been riding a long time without any real food because the route in which I decided to change to was a bit barren and there wasn't much about. Sat in a little cafe in the middle of nowhere, my legs were humming, that deep dull ache, the kind that tells you that you've already done something. 160 kilometres behind me and 60 to go. Just a number really, but it felt like a cliff. I don't know where Chris is, he might even be in Edinburgh now sipping a nice cold Coke, but I had no signal. I had two options leaving the cafe. Make my way towards Chris and probably not have any time to even spend with him because I had a train to catch at 7:30. Or make my way 15 kilometres across the country to the nearest train station, Berwick-upon-Tweed, get myself a new ticket and get home maybe 4 hours earlier. And you know what? Quitting, if it is quitting, then it didn't feel like failure to me. It feels like honesty. It felt like listening to myself for once, not just hitting the road trying to chase something that's going to be unattainable. So I didn't finish the ride. I didn't catch Chris. I got halfway. 160 kilometres, I run out of steam and I called it. But something unexpected happened the moment I decided to make that decision to only ride the 15 kilometres to Berwick-upon-Tweed, the border. I started to enjoy the ride again. The pressure dropped, the tunnel vision cracked open, and I could finally look up and really take it all in. The fields, the sky, the quiet. I wasn't chasing anymore, I was just riding. And yeah, I took the train home, the legs were aching and the ego was bruised, but I was still smiling. Sometimes quitting doesn't feel like failure, sometimes it feels like you're just coming back to yourself. Chris, you're out there smashing it for Movember, and I've got nothing but respect. Today wasn't my ride to finish, but I'm glad I showed up for it. Thanks for watching, and if you're able, please support a great cause. Support the conversation and let's support each other.